Okay, and from your years of experience, you've put together a variety of workouts that are, for fitness professionals and specifically for boot camps. Maybe you can give us a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've put together these, what I call done-for-you workouts for trainers so that, they can literally print out the workout and take it to anywhere. They could take it to, like I said, I did this type of boot camp in a hotel ballroom and, with no equipment. So you could do that in a community center, you could do that in a hotel ballroom, you could do that in your regular aerobics room at your gym, you could do it in a park without any equipment. So we start the workouts off with the bodyweight circuit, and I have a wide variety of exercises there. Then we do another thing that is actually lacking in a lot of boot camps as well is a strength-focused circuit or superset to start off the program. I mean, I still stick to the training principles that I believe in and use on a one-on-one basis, which is focusing on the hardest and most difficult strength exercises at the start. So we build in a strength superset there. So, for a beginner, it might be regular push-ups. For a more advanced person, it might be a more, a Spider-Man type push-up, a really advanced push-up, or a decline push-up, or, whatever the hardest push-up it is. That's when we'll do it right there at the start. And then we'll pair that with a single leg exercise, or depending on the person's ability, perhaps a jumping exercise and the surface that we're working on. We didn't do jumping in the hotel ballroom, obviously, because of the hard floor. I mean, we were on carpet, but not on something that was allowed jumping. So, we're doing that type of exercise to start. Then we get into a couple of different circuits. I have 3 different circuits that I talk about in the program. One is called the Big 5 circuit, where you go a squat, a push, a pull, a single leg, and a total body ab exercise. That would be one type of circuit we would do. And I have another one, depletion circuit, where we go really hard for 20 seconds on upper body exercise and lower body exercise, alternate back and forth. And then we have some timed interval stuff in there. Then we do an ab circuit to finish, and then, of course, the stretching cool down after that. So that's how we generally design those bodyweight boot camp workouts. Now, we might throw in some changes because, like I said, there's 21 different versions. So we might do abs at the start and at the end in one version just to change things up. I also throw in some of my bodyweight challenges, the Bodyweight 200 program. We did a couple of versions in there, just where we put together a nice fun circuit of bodyweight exercises with a total of 200 repetitions. So we make a bit of a challenge out of it to see how fast, various boot camp members can finish that. Now, that's going to only be able to do that if you have a small boot camp. You won't be able to do that if you're running 20 or 30 people probably. But, that's another way that we add variety, fun, entertainment, and results into the program.
So pretty much there's like 21 boot camp workouts. So pretty much the fitness professional could do one workout a month one workout a month and never really do the same workout during the whole month for their boot campers.
Yeah, I mean, what I would recommend is that, maybe you would take 3, like let's say you're running boot camps and people came 3 times a week. They come Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. They come Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So it's the same group of people that come on one of those 3 days. And so, you would pick 3 workouts, and then you do one on Monday, then you do another one on Wednesday, and then a different one on Friday. And maybe keep with that schedule for 2 to 3 weeks to get some adaptation and to get them, going through that. Or maybe just 2 weeks if you really want to keep the variety going. Or you could do, as you said, and just run a different boot camp workout every time. Now, some of them are more advanced than others, so, if you have a group of beginners, you won't be able to do all of them in the same month. They'll need to work up to it. Some of them are more advanced, and some of them are more beginnerish. So if you have an advanced class, you're not going to be doing the first couple that we have in there. And then at the end, we do have some bonus workouts in there for people that have kettlebells or stability balls or dumbbells and want to, a smart trainer is going to be able to take a look at the boot camp workouts I have designed and say, I can put in a dumbbell row in there instead of this particular exercise, or, we could do a kettlebell swing instead of, this jump or this sprint interval here. So, they'll be able to do that. But we also have some extra workouts in there for people that do have access to stability balls and kettlebells. So there's about 25 workouts in total. And literally, if someone is so busy with their boot camp, getting people into the boot camp and making sure people are paid and all that type of stuff, and they feel like they're going home at, 8 o'clock at night and then spend another hour creating workouts, it's designed for that person who doesn't have the time to create workouts all the time, so they can literally just print off one, go in there and just much time to spend on the warm-up and each exercise, and they could just go through it there. And, we've had great feedback. People are having a lot of fun with it.
Okay. And then we're kind of approaching the end of the interview. Do you have any last tips for fitness professionals running boot camps?
Yeah, there's a lot of tips I can give, and so I'll try and share as many little quick tips as possible. So, the first and most important thing is to bring the energy and bring excitement, because, whether people are coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the evening, they really, they probably want to be somewhere else in most cases. So, but within the first couple minutes, if you're excellent energy and you're really loving it and making it an excellent environment for people, they're going to change that mindset right away, and then they're going to have a great workout. They're going to tell their friends at work, and that means you're going to get more referrals. So, everything that you do is to get people to talk about, the results that they're getting or the fun that they're having or, the cool exercises that they're doing. And that way, if you deliver this amazing experience, you're going to have a very successful business. So, that's the first and most important thing, is to make sure that you're bringing the energy. And the second thing is to, make sure you have a wide variety of exercise in your program. If you feel like at this point you're a little bit lost for exercises, that's certainly where we can help you out with all the exercises, especially the body weight. And also just make sure, of course, that you're training people appropriately. I'm a safety first kind of guy. I'm very conservative with the training, and just want to make sure that people are obviously, no one wants to get injured in your program, because again, that has the opposite effect of that positive water cooler talk, where the next day someone's going to be, standing around the water cooler or the coffee machine saying, "Oh, my back is sore because whatever this trainer did to me last night at the boot camp." So, that's why we are very conservative with our exercises in the program. I only put in, the endurance type abdominal exercises and not the crunches and sit-ups, and we don't do jumping on bad surfaces. So, we're doing that. And again, just, really, really, really digging through websites and other fitness programs to find cool exercises, to find so much variety that, you just amaze people every day with the workouts that you can bring to them. And I really think that is going to be, the most important stuff is what you can deliver, what type of experience you can deliver is really going to help you have great success with your boot camps in so many ways.
Okay, Craig, and where can fitness professionals get more information about you and your boot camps, your boot camp workouts?
Yeah, so my bootcamp workouts, you'll find those at ttbootcamps.com, and, I have a blog at ttfatloss.com, and, just check me out on YouTube as well. We have a lot of exercise videos on there that will give you some really cool ideas for your boot camp. You can just go to youtube.com/CB Athletics, as in CB, Craig Ballantyne Athletics. And, just look me up online. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the blog or through, my email or whatever, and we'll be happy to help you out and point you towards whatever resource you need.
Okay, exercisesforinjuries.com blog readers. I want to thank Craig Ballantyne for sharing his great tips when it comes to designing an effective boot camp workout, things to avoid when running your boot camps, and how to create a great experience with your boot camp so clients keep coming back. So make sure you visit Craig Ballantyne at his YouTube channel. There's lots of great exercises, and make sure you visit his ttbootcamps.com to download and get your workouts. This is Rick Kaselich signing off with another interview. Take care, and bye-bye.